friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Well, I was just hoping to hurry up and just shoot a quick video that I could get out the very day that I shoot it. How rare is that? And just to let you guys know kind of what's going on and why the live show thing isn't working out at the moment. I had actually planned on going live today, at least just do a short show, a half an hour to an hour tops because of my time. There's just a lot going on. And so, for example, some of the things I've been doing over the past couple of weeks is just, the apples have been ready, trying to get the apples off the tree and get them dealt with. And so I dehydrated a whole bunch of apples, as some of you may know, dehydrating the skins as well, powdering those up. That was a new thing, and then experimenting with that. And then also realizing that it's not going to be too long before my grapes here are ready to start picking. They're still very hard, so they got a ways to go. I'm thinking maybe a month tops. And so I realized it was important to clean out that chest freezer that I keep my grapes in after I pick them, because I hadn't really done like a dig down to the bottom kind of clean out of that in, well, a very long time, and pull out all of the grapes from the couple of years previous and get those dealt with. So, because I just get a ton of grapes. I would have never thought on my little shy 1/3 acre piece in a cool, wet climate, I could ever get that kind of grape harvest, but I always get far more than I can use, and every year I get more. So that was one of the big things, was not only just getting rid of stuff that might be too old, or maybe pulling it out and dehydrating or do something else with it. It was getting those grapes out. So not only could I have the space, but also so that I could have those bags, because the bags I do like for freezing the grapes in, because it's going to save me a lot of space. And so anyway, I got 2 gallons of wine sitting over here. I had to put it in here because I got all the apple vinegar going in the kitchen. So I've got the wine brewing in here. And then after I tasted it, because of growing grapes here outside, they don't really get a chance in our short growing season to put on a lot of that sweetness. But they have an amazing flavor, yet they're still rather tart by the time I have to get them off there before they start rotting because of the rains coming in and then the little birds picking at them. So I thought, I'm going to taste this juice again. I haven't just tasted it as juice in a long time. And I'm like, wow, this actually tastes really good and does actually have enough sweetness in it that it may be good enough just as is to use as a juice, or use even for rehydrating my apples when I rehydrate the apples for making apple pie and other such. So I decided to can up, after I got the 2 gallons of wine going, I decided to can what was left, and I got 6 quarts of juice. And so I might be doing more of that later, but I always freeze the grapes because it makes them so much easier to juice. Now, my grapes are not seedless, and though they have a great flavor, even though they're really sour, they're just not the funnest ones to eat because of the seeds, but that just makes them better for juicing. In fact, they are a Niagara white, which is commonly what's used to make the white grape juice you buy in the store, though that's going to be a lot sweeter than the ones off my plants because of our short growing season. But anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on. So making that space, finding other things that needed to go. And so just a lot of busyness. And then today I'm watching my grandson again. And even though I've done a couple of live shows with him here, he's been a little more rambunctious lately. And so I didn't want to take the chance of trying to do a live show and then just have so much noise to deal with. On top of the fact that my last live show that I did, where I got cut off 3 times, I was so fed up and frustrated with that. But it wasn't just about that. It was more about we've got these festivals coming up. So we'll be taking not only a whole week off for the Feast of Tabernacles, we're actually going camping this year, which I'm really quite excited. So we're preparing for that. We got a new tent, and Patrick was putting in some stove jacks so we can have our little stainless steel wood stove inside there. But there's also the other days, like we got trumpets coming up next week, and then Day of Atonement. And so all these different things going on and trying to prepare for those, and knowing that I'm not going to be shooting videos during all these times, especially probably that whole week. I probably won't be shooting any videos, definitely not editing any videos. The other thing is that if I can't depend on my live show, because that last one I did where I got cut off 3 times, I was only able to get 1 standalone video out of that instead of 3. And so what I have to do, I'm kind of going back for now, and just so I can get farther ahead again, is to do pre-recorded like I'm doing right now, so that I can at least know I've got that video and not have to depend on whether or not the live show is going to go well. So that may determine too how I do my live shows in the future. I still want to keep doing them because they're a lot of fun, but it might just be more Q&A kind of time, and then still have other days where I shoot the standalone video, so I at least know I have those, rather than putting a lot of faith in the fact that maybe my live show is going to go okay today. So there's that. And then also one more thing I do want to share, and for those who are watching this, I could really use some prayer. I'm realizing, I had to come to the realization that what's been going on in my throat isn't just my nodules swelling up. It's been more than that. And I've been suspicious for a while, but I think I figured out what's happening. It's not just a throat issue, it's a whole body issue. And basically what's going on is ever since 2021, when I got the virus and it reactivated the Epstein-Barr virus and got me not as sick as I was the first time I got the major infection from it back in 2012, I think it was. I got over that. I was great. All the body fatigue, it took months and months, but once the body fatigue was all gone, the sore throat was gone, the swelling in my glands was gone, I was doing great until I got the virus, which set me back again. Not near as bad, but this time it's been such a slow progression instead of just a sudden onset that I just wasn't picking up on the cues and the clues. And the body fatigue is returned. It's not constant. It's not severe like it was back in 2012, but it's there. Like if I do a little bit too much, or I get a little too stressed out with 3 grandbabies and I'm trying to get all this stuff done and everybody's needing help, then that fatigue the other day, it set in so strongly and quickly in my whole body, I nearly collapsed. And so I'm like, yes, that's what's going on. And, examining the back of my throat, it's got the telltale signs of an Epstein-Barr virus infection. And so that's kind of what's going on. It's just, like I said, it's been this weird sort of very slow progression. And so I'm trying to get a handle on that, throwing all the antivirals at it I can, being as natural as possible, but also adding, this is one of those situations where I will definitely start taking added supplements to just make sure, like vitamin C, to really just try to flush everything out. And that has been helping. Drinking a lot of herbal teas, things like with turkey tail mushroom, dandelion, cinnamon, ginger, all of that, just everything. And so throwing everything at it I can and trying to get a handle on that, so that when I'm ready to start doing the live shows, hopefully on a regular basis, I can hopefully have this under control. But it's hard to say. I just think ever since that it'll be a lifelong battle with this. And it's frustrating because I was completely better from it until that came along. And the virus itself, and dealing with its initial things, wasn't so bad, other than the headache. The headache was the worst of it, but it only took me a few days, but it caused me to have that reinfection or that reactivation. And that was the tough part. And now I see it's probably just going to keep resurfacing, especially whenever I'm put under a lot of extra stress. And so I think once things can kind of slow back down, and I just keep taking care of myself as best I can, I'm sure I'll get better, at least well enough that things will be fine. It's just right now, it's a little tough. I'm still active. I'm still energetic. It's just I have to be careful with how much I'm putting on my plate. on top of what I'm already doing to try to bring in the harvest and get the food put up. So anyway, I hope that helps everybody kind of understand where I'm at. And again, I really appreciate any prayers you have to offer to help my body heal from this a lot quicker. And that I just, and know that I'm still keep seeking out more information and learning more about the best way to deal with it. It's always, learning is always a lifelong process. So I'll keep you posted. Just keep watching in the post section. I'll let you know if I'm going live or not, or you'll see the scheduled live if I am, but I could schedule a live and may end up having to cancel it depending on how things are going. But I'm looking at it very likely, maybe not doing a live show until after all these festivals are over, so maybe not till late October, but we'll see. We'll see. If I could at least hop in and do a quick live and just say hi to you and chat with you, I really hope I can have a chance to do that. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day and you have a great week ahead. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.